Craziest sound echo in there. All right. So good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to see you. And I was just telling Maria, I sent out that email yesterday and told you it was the last class, and then I went in and talked to Gary, and I told him about the good things that you guys were doing and the habits that you were creating, and seeing like the click and the goal setting. And I have a couple other ideas to him and I brainstormed about a couple fun things to help you remember that it's $15 for every app. But we got to make it so that your clients don't know that's what it is. So anyway, we're coming up with some unique ways, like it'll be on you can put it on your desk or your wall or wherever you want to help you remember. Because it was kind of fun I think it was last time we met, Daisy had the aha when I said, or not Daisy, sorry, Anna, when she says I closed 6 extra apps, and I said, well, that was almost $100. And it's just that, like you're paying yourself every time you close a deal, you're paying yourself. And so anyway, so as I talked to Gary, I think he's on board. I just need to submit a proposal, but I'm 99% sure he's on board. We'll keep continuing for hopefully about 6 more months. And we have a couple other ideas for habits, just like you've been creating, a couple more habits to continue to increase the number of apps that you do and your percentage of closing versus quotes. Does that sound good? All right, awesome. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is a little bit more about getting your habits to stick and keeping your goals in the forefront of your mind. So we're just going to review the things that we've already been working on, and I want to hear back from you exactly what you're going to put on your computer and your desk is that reminder. Now, the thing is, we have to switch them out. Like, all of you probably have had either your travel or your numbers up or different things up. And have you noticed after about 10, 14 days, that Post-it note or picture or something might be up, and then you kind of forget to look at it, like really look at it, internalize it, like you just kind of look by it, but it's not having the same effect as when you first put it up. Do you know what I kind of mean? And I think, Maria, that's kind of what you're saying is I've lost my focus just a little bit. I've kind of forgotten what my goals are. And that's why it's so important to reset your goals every couple of weeks. I usually suggest to people at least every 30 days to refuel that fire and remember why you're changing your habits. Because it's not fun. Change just is not fun, okay? It's just the way it is. Change isn't fun. It isn't easy. But it can be worth it. And that's what I see you guys all seeing, is that it's worth it because you know what you're going to get out of it. So that's what we want to help you to do. And so that's what we're going to talk about, is how to kind of help you create some reminders. So we're going to go through several different areas. And some of these might be things that you're already doing really well. Because sometimes I bring up something and one of you will say, oh, I already do that. So if that's one you already do, we have 7 different things to go over. Pick the one that if you did a little bit more, you might get a couple extra apps signed this week. Okay? I want you to pick 1 or 2 out of these 7 that you're just going to hammer this week. You're going to put up reminders. You're going to create yourself a little sheet to keep track. Okay? Now, one more thing I want to remind you of. I know we've talked about this, but you may have forgotten. There's this thing called knowledge of results. When you have on a piece of paper, like your little trackers, whether, you're using the thing I've given you, or you make your own, or Daisy and Laura, they have a calendar on their wall and they put a sticker on every day for every app they write, whatever it is, okay? When you have a knowledge of results of how much you've accomplished, that's when things grow and change. That's why Weight Watchers makes money, okay? Because Weight Watchers makes you track your food and your calories and your exercise. That's why they make money, okay? Is because you're tracking it. If you're not tracking exactly what you're doing, you can get to a couple weeks and go, gosh, I don't know why I didn't close very many apps, because you don't know what the action was behind what you were doing, and if there's anything specific that you were doing differently on a consistent basis. So this is, this has never been something that's been turned into Gary. This is not a do it or, we said so, you're going to get fired. It's nothing like that. It's 100% about helping you be really conscientious about what you're doing so that you can make more money and you can have more success. Okay? So at the end of this, I want to know which 2 things you're going to work on in the next 2 weeks and how you're going to remind yourself to make that habit. Does that sound okay? So either send me an email or down here in the chat box. Okay, I want to know which of those 2 things you're going to work on. Okay, so one of the things that's really, really effective to do is to create some sort of image of how it feels when you have quote unquote success. Okay, and when you guys talk about the success you want and the more closes you want and how that feels, like I know Daisy, for example, I know you have a really clear picture of how many closings you like to do a week, right? Or a paid period, right, Daisy? So when you think about how it feels to be really successful, like can you tell us what that image in your head, like what do you look like, or what does it feel like, or who are you becoming, or what is that like to have those successes?
So far I haven't reached my goal. My goal is 50 apps, but I hate it when I'm shy 6 or 4. It just brings me down, but I still keep positive and say I'm going to get more either way.
Okay. So when you think about hitting that 50 and how it would feel, can you think of a picture or an image, like something that's visual? What would it look like? How would you feel? Like what would it do to you to close those extra apps?
It'd basically feel like getting a break, like actually having a day off.
Okay.
In my pocket.
Okay. And so what does that image look like of you having a day off and being able to relax?
It's basically with my kids, just going wherever they want to go.
Okay. So that's the image I need you to print off. I need you to print off something like you and your kids doing that thing, that random thing they might pick. If you said, okay, kids, we can go do whatever you want today, like some sort of image of what that is. Or you could even have your kids draw pictures and put those on your desk.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. Like you've got to remember what that is, what that feels like. Okay, Jose, how about for you? You close those extra apps. You're really whatever your definition of the success is. What does that look like? Can you tell me an image that you could print off? Like what would that picture look like?
I really don't have anything I can think of right now.
Think for a minute. How would it feel? Like
It looks like a Mexican Santa Claus. Mexican Rick Ross.
I don't know. I guess just me sitting down relaxing, I guess.
you doing what?
Probably just sitting around relaxing.
Oh, your thing's echoing. Anna, what's he saying? Oh, what did he say?
I'm just gonna go try to talk with him. So, no, it's not that, Jose. Last time it happened, I shouted. There, it happened. Ask him again.
Okay, tell me one more time what Jose said it would look like and feel like to have that success.
What did you say, Jose? Oh my God,
I said I just feel like sitting at home relaxing.
I don't know what's wrong. I keep missing the very last word.
he said he feels like staying home and relaxing.
Oh, staying home and relaxing. Oh, okay, I got it. Sorry. So in some ways, it's sort of the same as Daisy's. Just that being able to relax, that peaceful feeling. So can you create a picture of what that looks like and put that on your desk? Yeah? Okay. All right. Maria, how about for you? We were talking a lot about your goals when we first got on. What would it look like to be a student, to be doing what you want to do?
What would it look like to be a student?
Yeah, like what's the picture in your head? Like if you can visualize yourself being a student, what's that one picture? You talked about like 2 weeks ago it being a college graduate, but I think you might need to step it back to, because I think it's like there's this college graduate, but there's also this goal of like getting into college to even be able to be a college graduate, right?
Right now, the picture that I put in my mind is at least 30 apps for a pay period. It's $450. So I visualize a check for $450.
Okay, exactly. Then put that number down everywhere.
Okay.
450 everywhere. 450, 450, 450, 450. Nobody has to know what that number means. Your clients don't, Cecilia doesn't, your kids don't. I mean, if you want them to know, I don't care. Or maybe your kids do know, and they help put 450s all over the house. Or you only have a baby. Sorry, I forgot you don't have a house full of kids. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, put a 450 on your bathroom mirror. Put a 450 in your bathroom at work. So when you take that break, you go, oh yeah, okay, now when I get back to it, I'm going to make that phone call. It's that number. It's that, what do you want from that? Okay? How about you, Cecilia? What does it look like?
I just see dollar signs.
Dollar signs? Okay. And see, this is the difference between when you're motivated by dollars and titles and when you're motivated by changing the world. Okay? Both of them are totally right. There's like, it's not a good or a bad thing. And Daisy's talking more about our kids and changing that. And you guys are like, there's a dollar sign and there's a goal and there's this thing you want to accomplish. Okay. So when you think dollar signs, is there a specific number or specific thing you'd put that money toward, Cecilia?
Home. I'm saving for a home.
Home.
So the
Okay.
more dollars that I have, the more I can get into my home.
Okay. Are you any closer to having a picture of that house you want yet?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, I just need to find a picture and put it up because I mean, you know, I come across one that I like and then I see another one that's even better, and I had one up, but I saw a different one, so
Did you
I
print
guess-
that one off?
picture of a house.
Did you print that one off?
I did, but I took it down
Why?
because it was sold.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll tell you a really funny story. There was this gal I heard speak where was she speaking at? I can't remember. But she was talking about there was this house she wanted. She went and looked at the house and she'd even prayed about it and like really felt she'd had this confirmation that this house was hers. And somehow, whatever happened, someone bought it before they got a chance to buy it. And she was like, what? I don't understand. Like, I felt really strongly that this was the house you're supposed to buy. And she was like, I mean, she was, you know, even like maybe just a titch bit annoyed with God, you know, it was like, what? And the family that lived there did all this remodeling, and then they decided they didn't need the house, and they sold it a year later, and it was in even better shape than the year before when she wanted to buy it originally.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I don't want you to change your goal, and there's sometimes houses look similar. Like, decide what you want in that house. You know, whether it's how many rooms, or it has a deck, or it's in this part of town, or I don't know. Whatever it is that's most important to you, put those things down.
All right.
Or maybe it's on this street, or maybe it's, you know, but you never know what can happen, okay? All right, and Anna, how about for you? What does it look like?
To get a lot of apps.
Mm-hmm. What does it look and feel like?
Well, I settled for just having 20, but I guess it would go towards my payment, my car payment.
Your car payment? So how would that feel to have your car paid off?
I feel like I got a big lift off my shoulders.
Okay. So you need a picture of that. What does that look like? You know, maybe it's you standing in front of your car and, you know, no more loan payments or something like that. Okay? But you need to come up with that image of how it would feel. Because I know you also want to travel. And I know there's also some other things you want to do, right?
Well, it wouldn't feel nice to have an extra $650 a month.
Okay. So keep going with that, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So that's the first one. It's so important that you know what you want. Okay, Maria? You have to get that picture up. Because that's what you're seeing. It's like, I've lost a little bit of focus, a little bit of motivation. And what you said is dead on. The thing is, you have to know why you're doing it. You have to remember your goal, or it's just not worth it to care that much. Right? And it does. It 100% takes more mental energy and will make you a little bit tired to do these things I tell you to do because you have to think more. Okay? I'm not going to lie to you but you will get more done in a shorter amount of time because you're following up with your leads. Nobody else is rewriting them because you're saying things effectively and closing the deal faster. In the long run, you're not going to be as tired. At first, you are going to be more tired. Like, I won't even lie to you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to try to pretend, oh, this is easy, just do it. No, it does take energy for a while. Okay? But is it worth it? The whole idea of being in school, either, what is it, in January or February, or maybe the next semester? Okay. All right. Yeah, I can't remember what the breakoffs are when they start and stop. Okay. All right. So let's get through a couple more things here. Remember how many apps you want to do. Now you can put this on your phone. You can put it on your screensaver. There's a lot of other things you can do. We've talked about knowledge of results. I want to make sure you guys were all starting to get that benefit of following up with those who said not yet. Okay. And even Maria had a really fun kind of law of attraction. There was someone, she had that person, tell me if I'm saying this right. She had a person's app up that had been written 3 months prior, and she called them several times, and finally they called her back, like when the app was up on her screen. Okay. Seriously, like stuff like that happens. It's called the law of attraction. That's what happens. So I want to make sure that you're setting alarms and reminding yourself that when you have a down moment, it's real easy to like get chatting with the person next to you or get busy cleaning your desk or I don't know, whatever your thing is that you are creatively busy with. That, you know, I have mine, it's Facebook. Okay. We all do it. But instead, what is it you're going to spend time doing? You know, being really deliberate about making those follow-up phone calls or whatever you need to do. Okay. So that's one of the things that we've talked about. Another one is giving polite education. Okay. We've talked about how letting them know. And one of the things, and I'm sure you've heard this from Gary, but he was talking about from the beginning, say, I'm so excited to help you get a quote. We're going to be looking at 10 different companies to find the best quote for you as we're going along doing this. So let me ask, like, how many of you do that ever? Do any of you do that? Like, kind of discuss, by the way, as I'm putting this through, we're going to be looking at 10 different companies for you to get the best quote. Does anybody do that yet? Anna does? A little bit. No. Okay. So one of the things that we've talked about is this polite education, making sure that, because one of the things that you say that happens is at the end, sometimes they say, well, I'm going to go get a better quote someplace else, or, you know, go look someplace else, and those kind of things. We want to make sure that both at the beginning and at the end, you're telling them that, hey, you know what? I'm so excited. It's so cool because, and this is when like things are running and you kind of have that downtime. You're not putting any more information in. This is so cool because it runs it through 10 different companies and we can figure out which company is going to be the best deal for you. We have access to all of them. Okay. So that's something that you can put in your hat and can really increase your closing rates by letting them know that they're not going to find a better deal anywhere else because you've run it through all the companies possible. I don't know if it's all the companies possible, but quite a few of them, right? Yes, no. Thank you, Jose, for humoring me. Okay. All right, Maria. Okay, so working on that polite education. The other one is asking a conversation when there's a no. Asking, remind me what the main reason was you came in here. Tell me what it was that made you come in today and why is it that you really needed insurance in a quote, okay? So they'll talk about lapse of insurance, they'll talk about they just bought a car, they'll talk about they've had a ticket or they're worried about getting a ticket, all those things, okay? Help them understand what the cost is going to be versus the cost of the insurance, okay? And then one of the other things to do is making sure that all these notes are right there on your desk, okay? That these scripts are right there at your fingertips so that, because you can't expect your poor brain to remember all the things that we've learned without the notes being there in front of you, and it's just a good thing to glance down at, okay? Keep them right there by you so you can see them, okay? It's really important because that habit, you just need the extra help until it rolls off your tongue. Cecilia and Shelly, they've been doing this forever, okay? So there's things that just roll off their tongue and they don't have to think about, and several other things for each of you. These things, we're going to get them there so they just roll off your tongue. You don't have to think about them as hard, okay? So we have 5 minutes. Well, probably about 3, 4. So everybody either put down in the chat, what 2 things are you going to work on this week? Now, one other thing I want to mention is if you're on the phone and you're doing your optional close, on the phone, it should be debit card or credit card or Visa or MasterCard. It should not be cash or credit card. Cash or credit card is only face-to-face. On the phone is always one card or another. Do you see why? If you say cash or credit card, then they might hang up and we might hope that they come in. Versus if there's any way we can get a card and not offer the cash option, it's a lot better. Does that make sense? Okay. Who's doing that on the phone? Giving 2 card options. Okay. If you're doing cash or credit card, be sure and just make that little tweak to either Visa or MasterCard or debit card or credit card. Okay. Because that's going to close more apps on the phone. Okay. So make that little tweak if that's something you need to do. Okay. So what 2 things are you going to work on for the next 2 weeks? You have several different things to work on. Which 2 are you going to work on and try to increase the number of apps? Everybody post something down in the chat box.
I'm gonna do that one. Yeah. Report your tools. So she wants us to put something in the chat box. Is this?
Or you can email it to me.
I don't even see where the chat box is, do you?
You have to take the mouse and scroll it down to the bottom, I think, usually.
Next is 7. Right there.
Hey, Daisy, can you do me a favor and send me Laura's email address? Or is it just Laura@MidColumbia?
I'm gonna work.
Yeah, it's just Laura, Mid-Columbia Insurance.
Okay. And it's Laura?
Yes.
Okay. I'll add her. Okay. All right. Cecilia, do you want to email me or do you want to put a message down in the bottom of the chat? It's on Maria's thing. Okay, awesome. Daisy, can you see the thing down at the bottom, or are you going to send me a email?
I'll go ahead and send an email. I can't find it.
Okay, if you take the mouse, and it's fine. Just send me an email then today.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Yes, no, maybe. Alrighty. Okay, so we'll keep working on this. I'll get a new schedule out. I'll get a proposal sent to Gary, and then I'll let you know what we're going to do. And we'll be on our way, okay? Let me know what questions you have. Email me anytime, okay? All right, awesome. Good luck, y'all. Bye.